I'm 65 years old now, and there are things I wish I had known, things I wish I had never said, even though I didn't realize it at the time. These words, these regrets, they stuck with me. They shaped the way I see my life today, and in many ways, they affect how I live now. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today. I've been thinking a lot recently about the years that have passed, the lessons I've learned, and honestly, the mistakes I've made along the way. I know that for many of us, especially those in my age group, reaching this stage in life can bring up a lot of reflection. You look back at the things you've said, the decisions you've made, and sometimes you wish you could go back and do it all over again. You know exactly what I mean, right? Well, today, I'm going to share some of those regrets with you. Not because I want to dwell on the past, but because I've learned something crucial. There are certain things I wish I had never said, words that, in hindsight, I would have taken back if I could. And I don't want you to make the same mistakes I did. You see, as we age, there's a shift in our perspective. When we're younger, we tend to think there's always more time ahead. We say things in the heat of the moment or out of frustration, thinking they won't have much impact. But when you get older, you realize those words matter. They echo. They stay with you. They change relationships. They change the way you see yourself. Now, I'm not here to scare you or make you feel down. In fact, just the opposite. I want to help you avoid the traps I fell into. I want to share the 5 things I regret saying, not to make you feel sorry for me, but to help you understand why they were wrong, and hopefully you'll learn from my experience. It's never too early to start thinking about what really matters in life, and it's never too late to change how you approach the years ahead. This is something I've learned the hard way, and I'm hoping it will be a little easier for you. I want you to think about something for a second. How often do you say things without thinking about the consequences? How often do we brush off the people we love, or downplay things that matter, thinking we have all the time in the world to make it right later? It happens more often than we'd like to admit. But with age, with experience, you begin to realize that time is limited. And with that realization comes a responsibility to speak more thoughtfully, to treat people more kindly, and to prioritize what truly matters. I can't go back and change the past, but I can share my story with you now. So maybe, just maybe, you'll save yourself some regrets in the future. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or even 60s like me, I want you to listen closely. There's no shame in making mistakes. That's how we grow. But sometimes, it's better to learn from others than to learn the hard way yourself. And if you're younger and just starting to build your life, these lessons are still incredibly valuable. So, here's the deal. In this video, I'm going to share the 5 things I deeply regret saying over the years. These are things I thought I'd regret later, but only now, looking back, I realize how much they shaped my life in ways I never imagined. Some of them might surprise you. Some of them might resonate with you. And some of them might even make you think twice about the words you choose next time you're speaking to someone you care about. But the point is, these are not just words. They are actions, emotions, and decisions wrapped in language. And today, I'm sharing them with you because I don't want you to make the same mistakes. I want you to learn from my journey, and in doing so, maybe make your own journey a little bit smoother. Because here's the truth. It's never too late to change how we speak, how we treat others, and how we approach our own lives. And if you're like me, you want to look back at your later years with no regrets. You want to know you've done everything you could to make the most of the time you had, and that you didn't let careless words slip by without considering their impact. So, let's get into it. These are the 5 things I regret saying in my life, and I'm sharing them with you so you don't have to make the same mistakes. All right, let's move into the first regret, the one that I think will resonate with so many of you. If you're ready, keep watching, because it's something I wish I could go back and change. Stay tuned. All right, let's dive into my first regret. And I have to say this one is the hardest to admit because, well, it's something that affected me deeply. It's not just a passing regret. It's something that shaped how I've had to live in my later years. And that regret is not prioritizing my health sooner. When I was younger, I was always too busy. I was chasing goals, building a career, and yes, I was probably too focused on what I thought were the important things in life: success, financial stability, getting ahead. And while all of that is important to some extent, I failed to realize that without good health, none of that really matters. Back then, I'd often tell myself things like, "I'm too busy to exercise," or "I'll start eating healthier after this project is done." And before I knew it, years had passed and my health wasn't getting any better. It was actually getting worse. I didn't take the time to really listen to my body. I ignored the small warning signs, like feeling tired all the time or noticing that I was gaining weight despite working hard. And when I finally did go for a checkup, I was shocked at what the doctor told me. My cholesterol levels were through the roof, my blood pressure was dangerously high, and my body was showing signs of stress and fatigue that I had ignored for too long. The worst part, I was in my 50s when I found out. By then, it was harder to reverse the damage. The body doesn't bounce back the way it used to, and it certainly doesn't forgive years of neglect. Now, looking back, I wish I had done things differently. I wish I had prioritized my health above all else. It's not that I didn't care about my health, but I just didn't give it the focus and attention it deserved. I thought I had time. We all do, right? We think we're invincible when we're younger, and we push things off for later. But that later is often too late. When I finally started to make changes in my lifestyle, it wasn't easy. I had to completely rework my habits, something I should have done a lot earlier. I had to start paying attention to my diet, cutting out processed foods, and introducing more fruits and vegetables. I had to force myself to get out of bed early and walk or do some kind of physical activity every day, even when my body didn't feel like it. And let me tell you, the first few weeks were brutal. But here's what I've learned. You cannot buy back your health. No amount of money, success, or achievements can replace the feeling of vitality that comes from being physically well. And that's something I really didn't understand when I was younger. I thought I could just keep going and push through, that I could always fix it later. But that mindset is a dangerous one. We take our health for granted, and it's not until something goes wrong that we realize how important it truly is. We often don't realize how much our health impacts everything else in life: our energy, our mood, our ability to be productive, and, most importantly, our ability to enjoy life. I can tell you right now, when your body starts to break down, everything changes. Suddenly, the things you thought were so important, your job, your career, your material possessions, they don't seem to matter anymore. What matters is that you feel good enough to enjoy your life, to spend quality time with your family, and to be able to do the things you love. But those things are only possible if you have the energy and strength to live fully. And I'll be honest, it's frustrating. Looking back, I feel a deep sense of regret for not making my health a priority. I regret not learning how to manage stress better, not understanding the importance of sleep, and not realizing that the small choices I made every day, what I ate, how much I moved, how much I rested, were all adding up, for better or for worse. But I don't want you to make the same mistake. If you're watching this and you're younger, I want you to take this seriously. Don't wait until you start feeling run down, or until your doctor tells you that you need medication to control your blood pressure. Start now. Build the habits that will support your health in the future. I know it's hard. Trust me, I do. We live in a world where we're constantly on the go, where convenience often wins out over health. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's all about making small changes that add up over time. It's about being intentional with your health now, so that you don't face the consequences later. And if you're older, don't think it's too late. You can still turn things around. It's never too late to take control of your health and start making better choices. I may not be able to undo all the damage I did to my body in my earlier years, but I can control what happens from here on out. I can still choose to eat better, to move more, to take care of my mental well-being. And you can do the same. The sooner you start, the better your quality of life will be in the long run. But it's not just about avoiding disease or managing your weight. It's about feeling better, having more energy, and being able to fully experience life. So please, take it from me. Don't wait until you feel like you're running out of time to start caring about your health. Start now. Start today. You deserve to live the best life possible. And that starts with taking care of yourself, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Now, let's move on to the second regret. And this one is particularly difficult to talk about because it involves the people I love most, my family. Looking back, I realize that one of my biggest regrets is not being more present with my family when I had the chance. I'm sure you can relate in some way. When I was younger, there was always something I was chasing: work deadlines, financial goals, career milestones. There was always this feeling that I needed to do more, that the more I accomplished, the more success I would find. And as much as I wanted to spend time with my loved ones, I always told myself, I'll be able to spend more time with them later once I've built something for us. The problem with that mindset is that later never comes. We think we'll have all the time in the world, but life moves fast, and the people who matter most are often the ones we take for granted. I can't count how many times I turned down family gatherings or postponed vacations with my kids because I thought I needed to work a little longer, or I wanted to make a little more money before I could relax. I justified it by thinking, they'll understand. I'm doing this for us. But here's the harsh reality. The time I lost with my family is time I can never get back. I'm sure many of you can relate to this. We get so caught up in what's next that we forget to enjoy the present. We focus on what we can gain rather than what we already have. And what I failed to realize was that the moments with my family, the simple moments like sharing a meal, attending a school play, or just sitting on the couch together, are what really matter. Those are the moments that build memories. But I miss so many of them. As I got older and my kids grew up, I started to feel this emptiness. My kids were starting their own lives, and I realized I hadn't been there enough during their formative years. The regret set in. They had their own friends, their own routines, and their own lives that didn't involve me as much anymore. And it hurt. It hurt to realize that I wasn't as involved in their lives as I had hoped to be. I missed the years where I could have been a more active part of their childhood. And now, those years were gone. When I finally woke up to this, it was already too late for many of those moments. I couldn't go back and redo their childhood. I couldn't relive the birthday parties, the first days of school, the vacations where I chose work over family. And that's a pain I'll carry with me. But here's the thing, it's not just about the kids. It's about everyone, your partner, your parents, your friends. I spent so much of my life chasing things outside of my home, believing that providing for my family financially was the most important thing I could do. But the truth is, being present with the people you love is the greatest gift you can give them. And it's something I didn't fully understand until it was almost too late. Now, I'm not saying that financial stability and career success don't matter. They do, but there has to be balance. It's about managing your time wisely and ensuring that no matter how busy you get, you're still carving out time for the people who truly matter. I remember one particular moment that hit me hard. I had been working late for weeks on a project, and my daughter had been begging me to come to her school play. She told me, "I really want you there, Dad." But I was so caught up in the work, I kept telling her, "I'll be there next time, I promise." Well, next time never came. I ended up missing that play, and I'll never forget the way she looked at me when I told her I couldn't make it. The disappointment in her eyes was enough to make my heart drop. I made all kinds of excuses, but in the end, I knew that I had chosen work over her, and that choice stayed with me. I can't undo that. I can't relive that moment. And that's something I deeply regret. I know we all have our responsibilities, and sometimes life does get in the way. But the thing I learned too late is that you can't get back those moments. Those once-in-a-lifetime experiences, like a family trip or just spending an evening at home, are the moments that make life truly rich. As I got older, I started realizing that my health, my happiness, and my sense of fulfillment were tied to those relationships. It wasn't the big promotions, the bank account balance, or the awards I received that made me feel truly fulfilled. It was the quiet moments with my family. It was hearing my kids laugh, watching them grow, and knowing that I was there for them when they needed me most. I wish I had realized this earlier. I wish I had been more intentional about being present. It wasn't about doing grand gestures or spending every waking moment with my family. It was about the small everyday things. It was about showing up, being available, listening, offering support without distraction, and not letting work or other distractions take precedence over the people who love me. If you're younger than me, please take this to heart. Don't let your job, your career, or your personal goals come at the cost of your relationships. When you're lying in bed at the end of your life, it won't be the promotions or the big paychecks that will give you peace. It will be the memories you create with the people who matter most. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I have to work. I have to provide for my family. I understand that. We all have our obligations. But here's the key. You can provide for your family while also being there for them. It's about balance. It's about carving out time in your day for the people who need you. It's about not letting the demands of the world blind you to the love and joy right in front of you. There's nothing more important than the people we love. We're only on this earth for a limited time, and we can't afford to waste the moments we have with our loved ones. Looking back, I wish I had spent more time with my parents, too. They were always there for me, but I was often too busy to be there for them when they needed me most. Now that they're gone, I can't turn back the clock and spend those last years with them. And that's a pain I'll carry forever. But again, this is not just about regret. It's about learning and making sure we don't repeat the same mistakes. I want you to understand that the time you spend with your family, the moments you share, are the memories that will stay with you. And those moments are far more precious than anything else in the world. If you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, I beg you, don't wait. Start building those strong relationships now. Put in the effort, show up for your loved ones, and create memories while you can. Life is short, and those small moments are the ones you'll cherish when you're older. Trust me on this one. Session 4. Conclusion and call to action. All right, we've covered some deep regrets so far, and I hope these reflections have made you think, not just about your past, but about your future. The time you have right now is a gift. It's a reminder that we don't need to wait until it's too late to make the changes that matter most. As I shared in this video, the first regret was not prioritizing my health sooner. And the second, even harder regret, was not being more present with my family. Now, I know we've touched on some pretty heavy things, but here's what I want you to take away from all of this. It's never too late to start making the right choices. No matter how old you are, no matter what mistakes you made, you still have the power to turn things around. Every day is a new opportunity to do better, to be better, and to live better. You are never stuck. You are never too far gone. You always have the chance to take control of your health, your relationships, and your life. This is a key message I want to leave with you. Your life is yours to shape. You don't need to let regret hold you back. Let it fuel you instead. Let it remind you that the choices you make today matter. The decisions you make today will impact your tomorrow, your next year, and your future years ahead. I've learned that no amount of success or achievement can replace the simple joys of life. The small moments with loved ones, the health that lets you live fully, the sense of peace that comes from being content with who you are. And as I've gotten older, I realize that those simple, everyday moments are what I'll carry with me when my time on this earth is done. So here's my challenge to you. Don't wait for the wake-up call. Don't wait until you regret something that could have been changed long ago. Start now. Take small steps toward better health, better relationships, and a better mindset. Start carving out time for what truly matters. Your health, your family, your happiness. I know it's not always easy. Life gets in the way. We get caught up in the rush. But don't let that be your excuse. You are the captain of your ship. And if you steer it with intention, if you make choices that align with your values, you can live a life you're proud of, a life full of meaning, love, and fulfillment. Every day you choose to be better is a step in the right direction. Every day you choose to invest in your health and relationships is a day you're building a stronger foundation for the future. You have the power to create the life you want. I want you to ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to look back with regret, wishing you had done things differently? Or do you want to look back and know that you made the most of every moment, that you lived fully, that you took care of yourself, and that you made time for those you love? The power is in your hands. Now, I want to take a moment to thank you for watching this video. If you found any of these reflections helpful, if they've made you think or inspired you to make some changes, please take a moment to hit the like button. It really helps us grow and reach more people who might need to hear this message. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd love for you to join our community. We're here to share not just lessons from my life, but lessons that will help you live better, be better, and achieve more in every area of your life. Remember this: your journey isn't defined by the mistakes you've made in the past. It's defined by the actions you take today and the decisions you make moving forward. You are not your regrets. You are what you choose to become, starting right now. So, don't let fear or hesitation hold you back. Take that first step today, whether it's eating a little healthier, spending more time with your family, or simply taking a break to care for your mental health. You are worthy of living the life you've always dreamed of, and you're capable of making it happen. And if you feel like you need some guidance, inspiration, or even just a community that supports you on this journey, know that we're here for you. You're not alone in this. We're all in this together, making the effort to be better, to live fully, and to make the most of the time we have. You've got this. If you've got any thoughts, questions, or insights that you'd like to share, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let's start a conversation about the lessons we've learned and how we can move forward with intention and purpose. Thank you again for being here. Let's make today the first step toward a brighter, healthier, and more fulfilling future. I'll see you in the next video.